Let's talk about that feeling. You know the one. That silent, heavy weight you carry when you feel chained to a memory, a hope, a person you know you should let go of, but you just can't. It feels like this impossible cycle, right? An ache that's become so familiar it almost feels like a part of you. Well, today, we're going to put words to that unspoken pain. Because understanding the cage you're in is the very first step to finding the key. This is the journey back to your peace.
I really want you to let this sink in. Just read it one more time. Every time you over-explain yourself, or you justify your feelings, or you fight for someone to recognize what you bring to the table, you are quietly telling yourself a devastating lie, that your worth is up for debate. But it isn't. It never, ever was.
So, let's get right into it. Why does this feel so inescapable? I need you to hear me on this. This is not about a lack of willpower on your part. You are not weak. You're trapped in a deeply ingrained pattern, a self-sustaining loop that keeps you right where the pain can always find you, again and again and again. Does this look familiar? I bet it does. That compulsive little refresh of their page, just picking at the wound to see if it still hurts, or replaying that highlight reel in your head. You know, the one perfect vacation, that one laughing selfie, while your memory conveniently edits out all the tears and the chaos. You run back the second that wave of loneliness hits, and you accept the absolute bare minimum because it feels so much better than the silence. And all the while, you're putting on this big performance, faking a detachment that you know is one single text message away from completely crumbling.
And this is why it feels like you've been trying to get over this for years, because you have been. But every single time you fold and go back, you don't just take a step back. No, you teleport right back to the starting line. All that progress, poof, gone. You're not moving forward. You're just endlessly rerunning the very first lap of a race you just can't seem to finish. This isn't just a bad habit. It's a cycle of self-sabotage that keeps you chained to a past that no longer serves you.
Okay, so we have to get to the absolute root of this. Why do we stay? Why do we cling so tightly to something that hurts us so much? Well, often it's because we aren't actually in love with the person in front of us. We're in love with an idea, a potential, a beautiful and heartbreaking lie we've built in our own minds.
This right here is called loving potential. You see, you didn't fall for the person who was consistently disrespectful or chaotic or unavailable. No, you fell in love with the glimpses of who you thought they could become one day. You fell in love with a story that you wrote for them, and the tragic irony is that that story has now become your prison.
Think about it like this. You're out in a garden, watering fake seeds, begging dead soil to grow something beautiful. You're holding on to a movie screen. You can see the perfect picture, but you can never touch it, never hold it, and you certainly can't build a real life on it. So that grief you're feeling, oh, it's absolutely real, but you're grieving something that never truly existed outside of your own beautiful, hopeful heart. Now, what's so powerful about this is the gap it shows. Just look at it. On one side, you have the cold, hard reality of how they show up, and on the other, the warm, glowing fantasy of who you want them to be. That space right there, between those two columns, that is the source of all your pain. And the wider that gap gets, the more it hurts to live there. So for a long time, you've been asking the wrong question. You've been terrified, asking, what will I lose if I walk away? But that's not the real question. The real question is this: what am I losing every single day that I choose to stay? You're losing your joy, you are sacrificing your precious peace, and you might just be sacrificing the very version of yourself you were put on this earth to become.
Okay, so how do we break free? This isn't about just waking up one morning and willing it to happen. It requires a clear, practical, tactical plan. I want you to stop thinking of this as a list of chores. These are 7 acts of liberation. 7 powerful steps to take your life back.
This is your roadmap. Each of these steps builds on the last, and they're all designed to take you from the pain of disconnection to the power of self-reclamation. It starts with a hard, decisive boundary, and it ends with a profound internal shift that will change everything for you. Step 1 is the hardest. I'm not going to lie, and it is absolutely non-negotiable. Real detachment begins with total disconnection. As long as you leave that door even slightly cracked open, you give your heart permission to wander right back through it at 2 in the morning. This is like locking the liquor cabinet when you're trying to get sober. You cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. You need silence, not signals. And let me be real with you. After you cut access, it is going to hurt. It's going to feel like a chemical detox because, well, it is. That restlessness, that hollow ache in your chest, that is normal. please do not mislabel that feeling as proof that you still need them. That pain is your spirit cleansing itself of their energy. It's the feeling of your system recalibrating back to you. It's a sign of healing, not weakness.
And while you're facing those withdrawals, know this. Your emotions are gonna lie to you. Your mind will start to romanticize the very poison that was making you sick. This is why you need receipts. I mean it. Get a journal, open a note on your phone, and write it all down. The lies, the broken promises, the way you felt looking yourself in the mirror. And when your mind starts playing those highlight reels, you pull out that list and you read the truth.
Now we get to the most transformative, most powerful part of this entire journey. This is where you consciously stop pouring all of that precious energy into them, and you start pouring every last drop of it back into yourself. This is the secret that accelerates real, lasting detachment faster than anything else.
This work has to be done for you and only for you. Get in the gym and feel your body get stronger. Read books that expand your mind. Heal your spirit through journaling, therapy, meditation, whatever works for you. But here is the key. Do it in silence. This isn't a performance for them. This is not a revenge plot for your Instagram story. This is you, quietly and diligently, becoming a person you are deeply and genuinely proud to be.
And this is exactly what happens. As you focus on your own growth, you just evolve. It happens slowly and then all at once. One day you'll look back at the person who accepted so little, who begged for breadcrumbs, and you won't even recognize them anymore. Not with judgment, but with a deep, loving compassion, because you understand they did the best they could before they knew what you know now.
And this is the ultimate goal. See, true detachment isn't about white-knuckling your way through the day, gritting your teeth, and forcing yourself to stay away. No. It's the moment your own peace, your own growth, your new life becomes so loud and fulfilling that the thought of going back isn't even a temptation anymore. It's an impossibility. It's like trying to squeeze into your childhood clothes. You just don't fit in that small space anymore.
This whole journey isn't just about escaping pain. It is about running towards something beautiful. It's about arriving at a place of genuine, unshakable inner peace. So let's talk about what's really waiting for you when you finally choose yourself.
You know that fear you feel about truly letting go? It isn't really about them. The terror comes when you wake up one morning and you don't feel that compulsive urge to check your phone. It's scary when you realize you can breathe just fine on your own. The fear comes from finally meeting your own strength, your own independence, your own wholeness.
This is the first truth you have to reclaim. Say it out loud if you need to. You were a complete person with dreams and laughter and value long before they ever walked into your life.
And you remain whole now, in this very moment. Their presence did not complete you, and their absence does not break you. Your worth was never and will never be determined by them. It is inherent. It is yours.
And this is where the journey leads, not to some perfect life free of problems, but to a state of inner calm that isn't dependent on anyone else's validation. A peace that comes from knowing, deep in your bones, that you are enough all by yourself. You are finally home.
On the other side of all this pain, all the loneliness, and all the hard, courageous work, there is a version of you that is free, a version that is strong, a version that is finally, deeply at peace. And that person has been waiting patiently for you to choose them, to come home to them. So the only question left is, are you ready?